this is a review of the ASICS METASPEED Sky Plus, which is an upgraded version of the ASICS METASPEED Sky, which for the past year has taken the road running world by storm, as well as the triathlon world, as you saw it on the feet as the Olympic champion Kristen Blumenfeld in Tokyo. So the second version features a lot of what was loved in the first version, some of the things we are going to go over now. So first of all, that is the FF Turbo Foam, which is a super foam by ASICS, and for me personally, this rivals the top level of super foams in the super shoe world, and it feels really poppy, and also it's arguably probably the most responsive super foam in terms of aggression of putting your foot down and getting some bounce back. The outsole is similar to the one as well, so ASICS do a really good job of reducing weight by making it a very minimalist outsole, whilst also keeping durability and grip high, and that is quite a hard balance to match, especially in road running shoes, especially when you're trying to reduce weight for efficiency in super shoes. It is hard to find a balance between durability and grip and lightweight, and they do a really good job. I've ran in this shoe in all conditions, and I've seen no issues in terms of grip on wet surfaces or on like gravelly surfaces, so it holds up really well, and that applies for running at all paces. So this shoe actually feels really natural at running at sprint speed all the way slower than marathon pace and a jog. It's probably quite a versatile shoe in sense of how fast you can go, as well as how comfortable you can feel whilst going slower. Also, I do think it's important to note, for everyone who's tried other super shoes, for me this is the fastest super shoe. In terms of if you're wanting to run as fast as possible, this is probably the shoe that will get you the distance the fastest. Obviously it's very fine margins, but this definitely feels like it's the most snappy of all super shoes. For anyone who likes a more traditional feel of a racing flat, because the marathon shoes or the marathon super shoes have sort of taken away from that feeling a tiny bit, this is definitely the best of both worlds, where you get the aggression feeling of a racing flat whilst also getting the cushion and support of a marathon shoe. So what is new with the Plus version compared to the first edition? The upper is more breathable and more accommodating. I have found that it's really easy to put on and off. That is maybe why it's also really successful in the triathlon world, because you've got to sort of transition. So for any triathletes out there as well, and I know it's a road running shoe, but also part of the triathlon is on the road, I actually think this is probably the best shoe on the market because of how easy you can get it on and off. But the upper as a whole just feels really breathable, and also support where you need it. So around the Achilles, it's got some nice support. It's also got a bit of padding here, so that just keeps your foot more in place and gives support where you need it, which definitely helps as you log up the mileage, because as joints become under more pressure, it's good to have a bit of extra support and padding, just make you feel a bit more comfortable and allow that ride to be a bit more comfortable as well. The laces are hard to come undone because of the lacerations down the whole of the lace, and that just allows a bit more of a secure lock, which definitely helps, because the last thing you want is your lace coming undone 30k into a marathon and you've got to run with an untied lace, because no one wants that. If the fit, especially in the toe area, is more accommodating in the second version than the first version, and it just generally feels a lot more comfortable and also cushioned, and like I said, in terms of versatility, you can go at all paces and it does feel really natural, which is again something that sometimes isn't present in super shoes because they do provide a really big push. But I personally think you want something where you can relax, especially for the longer races, because in a marathon, for example, most of that race is going to be at a more slower pace, even though you are going to start fatiguing at that pace. So the last thing you want is a shoe that feels too aggressive or feels too uncomfortable, especially running at slow paces, which this doesn't have an issue with. Also, this shoe compared to the first version has a different midsole geometry. So as you can see, especially on this side, there's a lot more foam what sort of comes out here, and also on this side more foam comes as well. This is to ensure it's a bit more stable and provide a little bit less deformation when you're running, and that also adds to a more propulsive toe off, because you've got a lot more foam which condenses and allows you to sort of push off as the foam condenses with the plate. Also, there is more cushioning because there is 4% more foam in the Sky Plus compared to the original Sky, and that just means more energy return and more comfort, which is ideal, especially when the weight isn't increasing and it's still an extremely lightweight shoe. And the final difference is the plate positioning. It is slightly higher and a different shape, which is more flat, because that provides more of a propulsion for people who are stride length runners, which this shoe is specialised for. And like I said before, for me this definitely is the fastest super shoe in my opinion, because it really feels like you're getting a big push when you're doing a toe off, and also the contact time feels really minimal, so you're not wasting any time when the foot is contacting the ground, and it's straight down and straight off, which is what you get in this case. I've done sessions from 3k pace and faster all the way up to tempo pace in the shoe. And honestly, I think this shoe can contend with any other super shoe on the market in terms of race pace and comfort. So for me, I 100% recommend this shoe, and it's hard to pick any downsides because there's no real rubbing anywhere, there's no aches and pains or any arch issues. The upper is great and breathable, the midsole is comfy, so I don't really have any issues that stand out to me in this shoe, and that is a very good thing, I think, because the last thing you want is something nagging or something knocking your confidence in the super shoe. I don't think that shoe gives any of those impressions, and I'd be 100% confident wearing it for race day. Anything from, honestly, from a road mile all the way up to the marathon, I would be more than happy to race in this shoe. And that is my review of the ASICS METASPEED Sky Plus. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts if you have tried this shoe, because the feedback we get in the comments also helps other people watching this video get a better understanding on how the shoe performs for a different variation of runners.